And we're going to start off with an opening song by our guest musician, Ken. Thank you, Ken. So today it's my honor and privilege to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach the science of mind, which is the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought. That the idea that we live in a spiritual universe, that God or Spirit is in, through, and around us, and that this presence is a source of all good. So whether you're here in person today or you're joining our service online, we're very glad that you're here and just want you to know this service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. I'm practitioner Marilyn Kirk, and we have many people in our community who contribute to bringing this service to you either online or in person. So I'd just like to acknowledge all of our tech team members, greeters, ushers, our bookstore volunteers, our snack saints, our practitioners who are providing high watch both in the center and from home. And if you are looking for a way to be involved in any of these teams, we welcome you to get in contact with us and let us know how you could be of service to us, because we really appreciate all of your help and your support. So today our invocation and benediction will be offered by Chaplain Talia Hiron. We have our special music by Ken Chavez, and our talk today will be delivered by Reverend Tammi Lambert, our very own. The Ultimate Beginning Has No End is the title of her talk. So today you might notice a little change in the order of service. We do have a very special something planned later on. So we'll return to our usual arrangement next time. For those of you at home, we do encourage you to see if you can locate a candle nearby and have that ready so you can participate in the ceremony that we have planned today. So we are delighted to have visitors here today for the first time, and we would like you to know that there's some information at the back table where Carol Ann Armijo, who's in the turquoise dress, she will be back to answer some questions for you, and we'll just welcome you to come in there and have a chance to talk about what we're all about. And if you're new online, we hope that you will check our website, leave a comment, and if you're in the area, drop by our center. We would really love to meet you. So I'd like to go ahead and do our vision and our mission statements, and then that will be followed by our sacred covenant. And I'm going to not have you read it today. I'm going to be reading it for you and having you close your eyes and draw that into your heart. So first, our vision that we have here at the center is transforming our world with the power of love in action. And then our mission is we're loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. It's a very important mission and vision for our center. So for the reading of the covenant today, as I said, I would like you to just close your eyes and hear these words as we invite and invoke our new minister to attend and come to us, as they are already in process doing. So close your eyes and just hear this. There is only one life. That life is good, and this life is God. This life is my life now, and your life too. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as unity. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God. For it is written by Baha'u'llah, so powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole earth. And now as I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me, unifying and growing our community. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement, knowing this truth about myself, for I am inspired to live in unity as an expression of wholeness and love. I'm encouraging and supporting spiritual growth, awakening the wisdom within me. I'm serving as a healer to all, applying the power of love, wisdom, and unity. And I'm generating engagement of our community in mystical studies and spiritual teachings. And lastly, I'm collaborating with community organizations so that we work in service of a world that works for everyone. As I now accept this highest expression of a new minister into our lives, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I'm grateful that God is gracious. So be it now. Amen. And now I'd like to invite Talia, Chaplain Talia, to come up and prepare as we prepare our hearts for her invocation. Do you want to come up first? Aha. Well, I'm not even aware of all the new stuff, so I'm just going to say, inviting Reverend Dr. Norm to come up and provide some announcements for us. Thank you. Norm.
Boo. Okay, first of all, we're going to have a workshop, and guess who's coming back? Our interim minister, Reverend Karen Lindsley. She's doing a workshop on November 13th from 12 to 2. It's called Vision for a Change, so be sure you put that on your calendar here. Secondly, how many of you like to be needles? You know? Anybody? Well, we're going to be hanging walls here. Oh, wait a minute, I got that wrong. We'll talk about needlework. Needlework, okay. So there's going to be a brief meeting after the service on November 7th. and they're going to be discussing the creation of a monthly themed wall hanging for the Center for Needlework. So that's what I meant by needlework. You know what I meant? Okay. So please see Marilyn Kirk about that if you want to be involved in that process. Okay, let's see. Also, I have 3 questions for you. 3. Who wrote the book? Who wrote the book called 3 Questions? Miguel Rees and Barbara Emery's. Okay. The other question is, when are we going to have a study group on that? I'll give you the answer right here. The answer is that group meets on Fridays from 11 to 12:30 for 6 weeks from starting, let's see, when is that going to start here? That's going to be starting on November 5th, Friday, November 5th. So be sure if you bring your book, and it's going to be about 3 questions. So that's the 3 questions I was going to ask you. You got that? 3 questions. And lastly, Thanksgiving coming up. If you want to be involved with what we do here at the center, you can sign up in the back. That lady there in the nice orange Halloween colored, sign up back there and bring what you're going to bring. That way we can keep track of the stuff they're having. I mean, we could all bring pumpkin pies. That would be perfectly fine with me, but I think somebody else would like to have more turkey, for example. So be sure that you sign up for her on that. If you have any more questions about this information, we are on the newsletter. You can go to the website, and you can also sign up on the website for a printed version of the announcements if you need to have that. So that's all the announcements today. I have live from New Mexico Sunday morning announcements.
Okay, so we're going to have a little change of energy here. We're going to go from out here to in here, deep within our hearts, knowing that it is within our hearts that we begin our connection with the divine. And it is in the divine heart that we are centered today, individually and as a group, here at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. And it is here at this time that we come together to love, first of all, to grow and to bless, to commune and to unite, and to expand. For we are part of that ever-expanding divine and higher consciousness that we often call God. And that God force, mind, heart, lives in all that is. It lives in this service right now, in the music, in our joy, our laughter, our songs, and our cries. And so today, on this special day, when we honor our ancestors and all those who've gone before, we honor all of life. We also honor ourselves for what we have to offer. For we are part of that ever-expanding God that never ends, as are our ancestors, endless. And I welcome them here in delight, dancing and having joy for the gathering of this group in communion and in remembrance of them and the steps that they have walked. They are very playful today. So, in this spirit of joy, I ask you to think of them, for they hold that energy. And they are so delighted. So, for those of us who have lost dear ones, think of them with joy and delight. That's how they want to be remembered, for that is how they are. Laughing and they're kidding and they're making me laugh. They're so funny. Try to be serious. So let us also remember passages, that as October is coming to an end and fall is completing, we're moving into winter, and let us honor the passages of time and all that is, as well as our world leaders who carry responsibility, and may they also know love in their hearts and joy and delight and come together in fun. Oh, what a spectacle that would be. Our world leaders having fun. Our ancestors like that thought, excuse me. I hold us in love this day and blessings and joy. May it continue in our hearts from this day on, knowing that let us go forward knowing we are the treasure that God has created. And we are so blessed to know this, for we here at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living know this, and therefore we carry this power and this love with us forward every moment of every day and every night. We are incredibly blessed, and I am so grateful to know this truth. Please stay with me, and so it is. Thank you.
And now we have some special music by Ken Chavez to enjoy, and then after which Reverend Tammi will present our message.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. If I could make days last forever, could make wishes come true, I'd save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I wanna go through time with. If I could save time in a bottle, first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanna do once you find them. Looked around enough to know you're the one I wanna go through time with.
Thank you, Ken. That's my niece. Isn't she awesome? So I have this moment, I'll tell you a little secret. Whenever I'm going to give a talk, I have it all in my head and my weeks of planning and preparation. And then there's this moment before I get up where I feel it drain away. And I get up saying, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And I find that that's the best place to speak from, where I give up what I think I know, and I take on just being a channel of spirit. That there is something deeper within me that knows what needs to be heard, what needs to be said, what feeds the spirit and what nourishes the soul. And so I just surrender myself to being that instrument. So as we are here in one space, in one mind, in one love, in one heart, we just breathe into the perfection and the beauty of all of that. We're honoring those that have come before us. And when we honor those that have come before us, we honor those that are coming after us. As the veil is thin today between the worlds of the seen and the unseen, we know that there is an eternality of spirit. There is a part of us that is spirit, that is eternal. We know this. There is a part of us that is timeless. So if there's a part of us that is timeless going forward, there's been a part of us that's timeless going backward. And that we were there. We were there. There's an old Apache prayer that I was there when the worlds were created. I was there. When the stars were brought into the hung in the sky, I was there. When mind created all that is, when light was, I was there. I was there. I was a part of the creation of all that is and ever will be, because I am one with divine presence. And there is no separation between that and the ultimate truth of who I am. So as we look into what is so today, we recognize that our eyes see what the physicality is trained to see. But there is more than what these eyes register. There is something that the heart sees. There is something that our spirit knows. We know beyond knowing. We see beyond seeing. There is more to all that is than just what we perceive with the physical mass. We hear on a level that's deeper than we think we hear with this instrument of ear. Because our ultimate spirit, the form of us that is developed and designed in the image of the divine presence itself, we being created in divine image, that there is a hearing that these ears implement. But there is a deeper hearing. There is a deeper song in the universe. There is a deeper melody in the realm of spirit. And I just invite you to listen with the ear beyond the ear. To know with the knowing behind what your head tells you. Listen with the mind, capital mind, not the small mind of thought and ego. We are called to something deeper. We are more than we think we are. We are spiritual beings. We are spirit that have bodies. We are not bodies that have spirit. We are spirit that have bodies. You got up this morning, hopefully, and put on clothes. I don't see any exceptions to that. You are a person that put on clothes. Similarly, you are a spirit that put on this body, and you are eternal. So when we know this truth, we can give up all the things about us that have us believe that we're small or limited to what's in the physical realm. We can release all of the lies from people that have told us that we should be in a space of fear. We can release all of the fear because it is not worthy of us. We can release all limiting thought. We can limit someone else's interpretation of who and what we should be as spiritual beings because we are called to something higher than we even know. There's a story I read that I was telling Annette about this morning. I read it, okay. I know that I was 11 years old. And I went looking for this story. I read it in 1978. No kidding. I was 11 years old. I remember where I was reading this story. It was a collection of short stories. And it turns out one of the authors of this short story was Orson Scott Card, who in my 20s and 30s was one of my favorite science fiction writers. It's called Out of the Doghouse. And I'm going to mangle the story because I read it when I was 11. But I'm going to tell you what I remember about it. And I'm going to embellish a bit because that's what I do. Okay. There was an alien race, and their home world was being destroyed, kind of like Superman, right? So they wanted to put their spirits somewhere else, so they choose the planet Earth. And they don't want to displace any sentient beings with their own spirits, so they choose dogs, because they think dogs don't have sentient spirits. So they put their spirits into dogs, and then they find out, to their horror, dogs don't have the abilities that this super intelligent human race had. So they can't really speak, and they don't have opposable thumbs. But this superhuman race had supernatural abilities. They could travel the universe. They had, psychic abilities, and they had telepathy, and they had intelligence, and they had, spaceships, and they were just amazing. Like, they had it all as a super developed species. But when they come here and put their spirits in dogs, they realize that they were limited only to what dogs could do. And so they lived in horror, realizing also that humans thought that they were just servants and that they didn't honor who they really were. And so what happened was, the story is really sad because they talk about they had a way of being able to communicate, but they weren't able to pass that on to their kids. And so they watched their further generations get further and further entangled into the flesh of the dog that was limited. And I remember that story from 43 years ago. Why? It resonated with me, and I couldn't explain why. But we have that same story. That we are these divine, extraordinary beings that are in these bodies. But instead of being trapped in the body of what this body can do, we are actually designed to evolve spiritually. We have these chakras and these meridians and these ways of interpreting spiritual messages, and we are in the process of redesigning our nervous system to be able to incorporate higher levels of divinity. And you see this in humanity evolving now. That we have evolved from a people that were used to being told, like a child, this is your morality, this is the truth, this is how you should experience God, and this is what right or wrong is. We're evolving to the point where we listen where? From our heart. We listen from, does that strike me as true? And this evolution of our consciousness is what we are brought into, that we are not stuck in these bodies. These bodies are vehicles for us to be able to learn lessons that have us evolve in a higher level and higher dimension. So we came into these bodies to learn lessons. We know this. We came into these bodies to be of service to each other. We came into these bodies to be an expression of love, to cause something spiritual by our very presence. And so we are not afraid of any conversations that talk about what's on the other side of the veil, because it just means that what is happening on the other side is just as real as what is happening on this side. We may not see it with our eye and hear it with our ear or know it with taste it with our tongue. But as we evolve into the deeper realization of our senses, we will know that all of this is true. And we will know with a knowing beyond all understanding. You see, in these physical forms, we have an opportunity to transform from being entangled in what this appears to be. We can avoid and grow out of being entangled by our emotional body. Our emotional body, sometimes if you're feeling a certain way, you think that's what's so. I feel upset. Is that the truth? No. You have an upset in your emotional body, but that is not who you are. If someone feels ill, that is not the truth. It is this body that is experiencing that. What we are doing is having this experience in a really divine way. So we can be trapped, or we can be transformed. And we can be transformed, which is really changing, or we can transmute, which means changing into a higher form. So we are in the form, in the presence of transforming to a higher level of consciousness. So what we think we know is true right now is just a version of reality. And one thing that is fundamentally taught in Science of Mind is that I can change my thoughts, I can change my reality, I can call in this higher presence within me to cause a shift. Here's another thing. When we look at another person, we are brought to profound, unconditional compassion. Because everyone is in different places in knowing how to deal with this story of our physicality. And everyone's on their own journey. And we know that as we are of service, we are brought into this place and time to be of service to others. Some people see someone suffering and say, oh, well, that's their karma to suffer that. But if you see suffering, Amma says it's your karma to help them. So when you look at the mission and vision of the center, it's about being of powerful service, of love in the world. Because we are service here, and we are service here. We are service in our inner bodies, and we serve not just in the physical realm, we serve in the spiritual realm. And what is in the spiritual realm can sometimes come into your reality now. I am a practitioner here, and I've been doing ministerial studies. But I'm actually an ordained minister with Astara. And Astara is a metaphysical spirituality. The originator, her name was Arlene Cheney, and her husband Robert Cheney was a powerful meditator. One day while she was meditating, a crystal appeared out of nowhere in front of the entire congregation. She had that crystal mounted and put into a pendant, and I'm wearing it today. And I'm wearing it because she wore it as she did powerful healings. And I was instructed by the leaders of Astara to wear it as I give these talks. And what it is a reminder of is that there is a power beyond our sight that lives, it is real, and it is here right now for our healing, for our wholeness, for our service. And I just want to be clear. As we are honoring our ancestors today, they are on a different plane. They may not be in the body, but the service that they render to you is something unique, is something powerful, it is something uncompromisable. It can never be undone. They're gifts of love. They're lessons. The lessons you learn from them in the positive, in the negative, like, ooh, I'll never do that. That can never be taken away. And you are their legacy of love. And so what we're going to do now is just going to open the seals. And I'm asking each of us to stand in high watch, in our own high watch. When we did the opening prayer, we surrounded this building with the light of white light. I call it the divine white light of the Christ. You may call it the divine white light of divine, whatever works for you. Only good comes to me. Only good comes from me. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. And so right now, we are inviting the presence of our loved ones, if they would like to come. And we're just going to open with a meditation. Yes, Annette, will you light the candle? Annette doesn't like to, you'll start. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like to get up and say things. But we can never underestimate this woman's spiritual power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a meditation. And then I'm going to invite you to come forward and take a candle from Annette. And then in the honor of the loved one that you have invoked in the meditation, light a candle for them. And then we'll continue the meditation, okay? So it'll be a process. So if I could get the lights dimmed a bit, thank you. In this space, in this presence, there is only love. There is only the power of this divine presence in this place. It is surrounded by white light. It is surrounded by the love of divine in every direction, in all 6 directions and in all dimensions. This is a space of love. And on this day, on this time when the veils between the worlds are thin, I invite the presence and invoke the presence of divine presence love. And we bring our hearts to our loved ones, inviting them, inviting the presence of them, of their love. And I just know that it is good. I release all thoughts, all fear, all disbelief, and I allow exactly what is my experience to come forward. And so each step, each movement, each thought, each breath is love. It is light. It is good. So having opened the room, I invite you, as you have your loved one in your heart, to come forward with your loved one or loved ones and take a candle from Annette here and place it in the salt and sand here. And Ken, can you strum? Thank you. take on that each of our ancestors, each of those that have gone before us, that wherever they are blessed, that they are surrounded by love and light. And in this space, we bring on a space of forgiveness and love and gratitude. Thank you for the love you have brought. Thank you for all you have taught me. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the light of your smile and the love in your eyes. I release any unforgiveness. And I forgive myself for any harm that I have done. And I take on the spirit of this light. And I just rest in the presence of knowing that we are on a continuum of life. And it is all good. As we move into our prayer time, I'm going to ask the practitioners to surround the room. There is one divine presence. It is love, joy, peace, harmony is expressing as love above all, love and light and joy and beauty. These attributes, these expressions of divine presence are everlasting, this everlasting universal consciousness. And its manifestations through all times, through all our teachers, our leaders. We honor our spiritual leaders who have given us books and instructions and lessons and all the ways that we learn and deepen our spirituality. We're so grateful to our spiritual teachers. We're so grateful for all of our spiritual leaders, all of those who are advocating for us in this lifetime and in other lifetimes. We know that we are all one in all of this continuation of life. And we give up our limitations. And I know in this moment, in this place, that I am one with all that. I know that all of us are one with all of that, that we are one breathing, living expression of God. We bless all our ancestors. We bless our descendants. We bless those that are here in the body. We call on this space of healing, of knowing, of loving, of power, releasing limitations, accepting only good. I'm so grateful for this, knowing this is so, that we know that the Logos, the Word of God, is even now speaking as us, that this sound, this reverberation of spirit is what is so, that when we pray there, we are praying with the Word of God, with that Logos of creation. And we are so grateful, so grateful, so grateful. Breathing in love, breathing out love, breathing in joy, breathing out joy, breathing in peace, breathing out peace. I am the breath of divine. With so much gratitude, I release this into the law. I release this into the subconscious mind that only says yes. Not only my subconscious, but the subconscious of the universe. There is only a divine yes. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Tammy, for that beautiful service and for the important aspect of remembering all of our loved ones. Thank you so much. And so now it's time for all of us to open up our pocketbooks and our pockets and our wallets and share our abundance. For those of you at home, there are multiple ways of giving across the screen at this point. And we have some baskets up here at the front for those of you who are here in person. And we just love to receive any amount of gift that you're able to share with us. The fact is, your offerings are essential for our ministries, and we do sincerely thank you for your donations. So if you will just say the giving affirmation with me, it's not on the screen, so I'm testing your memory. I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars, and so I give and receive generously, and so it is. And now as you bring your gifts to the front, we'll enjoy some more music from Ken. Thank you.
Run to the river so I can find myself. Run to the mesa so I can find myself. Run to the river so I can find myself. Run to the mountain so I can find my. Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river.
And now if you'll help me bless these offerings by holding your hands and putting all that great energy toward it. So, O giver of divine life, we gratefully accept these and all your gifts on behalf of our congregation and its ministries. We honor every gift and every giver and declare that our abundance is increased 1,000-fold. And so it is.
And so it is.
And we will be having our closing benediction shortly, followed by a closing song. But after the service, we invite all of you for a continuation of our celebration in the social hall. We also invite you to check out our bookstore. And in addition, there are spiritual prayer practitioners who are wearing purple stoles or who will be up here at the front, who are more than happy to pray with you for any issues or any concerns or any happy celebrations that you're having. And we would just love to spend a minute with you and do a quick prayer with you at the front of the podium. So invite Chaplain Tilia to come up for our benediction.
Thank you. So with that beautiful service and the honoring of our ancestors and the love of the divine that is manifested through our ancestors, we bring this service to a close. And we do so in great love and in great gratitude. And we go forth today knowing how much we are dearly loved and how that love is all around us, surrounding us at all times and in ways that we cannot see, but we can know. And in that knowing, may we feel free and ready to reach out at any time, to call upon that love, to share with them our joy and our delight, our play, or our cares, or our gratitude, or simply to share, period. It matters not. It matters not. They are so ready for us and waiting. So let us go out after this service and share our love, our joy, our bounty, our gratitude, and our power, as well as our service. Please say with me, and so it is. Thank you.
Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river so I can find myself. Run to the mesa so I can find myself. Run to the mountain so I can find myself. Run to the river so I can find my. Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river. Run to the river. Thank you very much. Oh, really quick, my band called Earth Surface People put out a song for Halloween. It's called Badlands. The music video is on YouTube if you want to check it out and get a little spooky today. Just some shameless self-promotion. Thank you.